All right, it's a cold day here in Cleveland, but inside the Cleveland Botanical Gardens, it's a nice warm day as always with some beautiful flowers and other exhibits to see. And we're talking with Dave Lowry, the VP of Marketing here at the Cleveland Botanical Gardens. You got a special event going on now, Dave. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Orchid Mania is our most popular flower show of the year. This year is the 14th annual. Cleveland flower lovers love it. It's a great respite from the winter. So the Orchid Mania is going on through March 1st here. This year our theme is Vibrant Vietnam. We chose Vietnam because there are many orchids that are native to Vietnam. Many orchids thrive there, and Vietnamese culture really cherishes plants and the natural world. So we thought it was a good culture and country to have as a theme for our exhibit this year.
Now, you've had this for 14 years. Do you always pick a country or a region for your theme, or is this different this year?
Yeah, it's different. It's different every year. We have done some regional themes, and sometimes we do just topics about, looking closely at the orchids. We've done Hawaii. We've done Cuba. We've done New Orleans. So it changes up over the years, but it's a celebration of this beautiful flower. We have over 2,000 on display at any given time, from exotic to more common. We like to, in this case for this show, we're trying to help educate people about the magnificent culture of Vietnam, and also educate them about this amazing flower, this amazing orchid flower. Some are common that we have here, and some are very rare. Everything in between.
When you mentioned Hawaii, and you think of Hawaii and orchids naturally come to mind. For a lot of people, that's probably not the first thing they think of when they hear of Vietnam. What is it with Vietnam and orchids that are so important?
Yeah, Southeast Asia maybe does not get the credit it deserves for having so much natural beauty. I mean, many people do know that that's a big part of Southeast Asia, and that's why many people love to visit. But Vietnam in particular, some really important orchids were grown there first, started there. And again, another important part of that is culture really cherishes the natural world. They protect what they have. They live, in harmony with the natural world. And we thought it was a good theme to explore this year.
So Dave, just as we enter the Cleveland Botanical Gardens here at Orchid Mania, we see this in the main lobby here, this beautiful display. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, as part of celebrating the culture of Vietnam here at Orchid Mania, we're looking at different aspects of the country. One of the things that Vietnam is known for is their tiered agricultural growing process. I think it allows them, much greater output for the many agricultural crops that they grow, including rice and other things. And so the exhibit or display behind me is kind of a stylized representation of that. It's obviously orchids that are filling that, but the tiering is to indicate or to kind of represent the tiered agricultural growing process.
It seems to an amateur, an orchid sounds like a very difficult plant to cultivate and raise. People are able to purchase orchids from the show and take them home. Are they able to manage them and keep them going?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think orchids have a bad rap. I think people think they're more difficult than they actually are to maintain. We definitely have some gardeners and horticulturists that can help people with the care of their orchids, but they're hardier than you think. What happens sometimes with orchids is they'll drop their petals for a while, like many flowers do when you transport them, but they very often come back. So we find that many home gardeners and home flower lovers love to have orchids in the house. It kind of brings a touch of the tropics. To your home.
So tell us some details of how if someone wants to visit Orchid Mania, the 14th annual here at the Cleveland Botanical Gardens, how they can get more information, when they can come, and how they can take something home.
Yeah, thank you. So more information about Orchid Mania is at cbgarden.org. cbgarden.org, that's our website. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. The hours are there. When you come, you'll see a variety of different exhibits celebrating orchids and the culture of Vietnam. and visitors always enjoy our glass house, which has biomes of a Madagascan desert and a Costa Rican rainforest with the flora and fauna of those environments. Those are something to celebrate all times of year. Another addition or two to Orchid Mania, we have botanically inspired dresses or garments designed by Kent State University's School of Fashion students. We have 14 garments on display that were designed specifically to showcase here at Orchid Mania, and the students there have been doing that and being part of the Orchid Mania show for over 5 years. That's something visitors really enjoy. And we have 2 or 3 different artists work on display here that kind of celebrate the orchid flower.
So if you're into orchids, obviously this is a place to go. But if your family or friends or whatever that you were going to come with aren't big orchid people necessarily, there's so many other things here to see at the Cleveland Botanical Garden. And this runs through March 1st?
That's right, it runs through March 1st.
All right, well, we're going to take a look through this Hanoi street in Vietnam and check out some of the orchids of Vietnam. And we're speaking with Dave Lowry, VP of Marketing here at the Gardens. And let's go see some orchids, Dave.
Thank you, Dan.